My name is Estella Garza, and I work with the San Antonio Independent School District. I have been with the district for over 30 years. The overwhelming majority of them have been as a homeless liaison. I'm here to ensure that the school district is aware that we do have a lot of homeless kids, a lot of kids who are experiencing homelessness. Last year, we identified the biggest number we've ever had in our history. I was over 3,500 kids. As a director, there's other programs under my umbrella, and integrating McKinney-Vento identification has really also helped in upping the numbers. I hate to make this a numbers game, but unfortunately it is because funding is dependent on the numbers that you identify. And for as long as we've had a McKinney program or McKinney grant, San Antonio ISD has been among the top 4 to 5 districts in the state that identifies the most kids. We have a lot of emergent bilinguals. Over a quarter of our total population of McKinney are emergent bilinguals. Our bilingual department, they're wanting to connect with us too. Even though we've identified as many as we have, there's still a whole lot more. The work is never finished. There's always something new that comes up. I work obviously with a lot of kids who are experiencing homelessness, and my role is more of an administrative role because I do have staff in the front line. I do have a coordinator too, which is something I never thought I would have, but I do. An expansion of my staff. ARP had something to do with that. I think last year it opened up a lot of administrators' eyes based on the numbers. We had a lot of data, and that's also as a result of ARP. I hired a data analyst, and that just opened up a whole new realm of awareness in the district. Because of the numbers, we did get an increase in our Title I set asides that helped with keeping a lot of the social workers we had with ARP. As a result of ARP, our graduation rates went up because we had a lot more people out there working the fields and administering a graduation club kind of thing to help along the way. A lot of services were being provided. As an administrator, then it's trying to keep the staff in unity, aware as to what's going on, feeding them with all the data that's coming back as a result of their efforts, as well as sharing that data with administrators, with the superintendent, with our deputy superintendents, with our school leadership. I knew they were always there. We just couldn't get them. Schools are experiencing a rebirth of the downtown areas. As a result, a low income housing complex went down. We found out that we've got another complex here downtown. They're evicting everybody because they sold their buildings, and they had 3 different addresses. So it's okay, we got to identify all those kids. They're losing their homes. They have to leave. They got no choice. We're trying to see how we can connect with them so that we'll know where they are. I would say read the law, please. That's what I tell all my staff. Read the law. Where in the law does it say that identification is important? How can you identify the law based on its actual citing? You're going to need that information in your emails when you're advocating for kids who are experiencing homelessness. Where in the law does it say removal of barriers? Where does it say school of origin, dispute process, privacy, or the idea that their home addresses and phone numbers are covered by FERPA? You need to know all these places in the law because you don't want to say something and you fumble. When you fumble and you're trying to explain it to a principal, they're going to know she doesn't know what she's talking about. I put it in emails and I quote the law, and I'll give them the actual citing, and I'll also give them McKinney-Vento Homeless Education Act, and here is the whole law. I'm informing them as much as I possibly can. That way, the person on the other end is going to say, "Gulp, I think she knows what she's talking about." You need to come across very assured of who you are, your role, the purpose of why you are there. That's crucial. That's everything. understand federal law and understand the differences between federal law and your state law on homelessness. So you need to know the difference between both of those things and understand how they work. The law is what gives you the muscle. Here in San Antonio, we've got 17 different school districts in the county. So I connected with one of the neighboring liaisons. We neighbor almost every school district here. She and I became confidants, and that was really neat. I totally miss that big time. We could laugh, we could joke, we could cry with each other, we could gripe, we could do everything. I highly encourage new liaisons to do that. Get connected with somebody else who does things a little bit differently than you do, and you can learn from them. I started working with kids in homeless situations so many years ago. One of the things they did is they stole my heart. I've been with them ever since. And because of that, I think it gave me the energy and the oomph to do the kinds of things that I've done. Start with one kid. You may not see the kid. Perhaps you're going to guide that counselor, guide that data clerk to enroll and look at this kid for possibilities of other kinds of supports based on the different educational programs. But because you're guiding the staff at the campus, they're going to work with him and they're going to hopefully keep him close. I spoke more so with the parents than I did with the kids. And I worked with the parents to ensure that they were able to understand what we could do. I touched base with the campuses via emails with all the language of the law in there to get them in and do whatever needed. So I really didn't work directly with the kids, but I worked surrounding them. Okay. And if that's all you do, that's a great start. It really is. Because that's where it all begins. But start with one, start with a shelter. Get to know those people. You will gain a lot of respect in speaking the language of the law and in defending and supporting your targeted population. That's what's going to make you just bloom and give you a reputation of being the homeless lady like me. I was a homeless lady for many, many years in the district. That's okay. I've had parents whom I have spoken with consistently for years and years. And their kids graduate, and then we accidentally see each other, or they have their grandkids now. And here they are. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? And it's so good to see you again. And now I got my grandkids. I want you to do exactly the same thing with my grandkids that you did with my kids. I've had a couple of students who have come back and they're working in the district now as teachers. I mean, to me, that's everything. That is absolutely everything. I had a mom come back one time. Her son graduated and she came back to my office. Well, as soon as she started talking, I said, I know you. I've spoken with you on the phone so many times, right? I know a lot of people based on their voice. There's a lot of phone conversations. And so she came back and she told me, you know what? My son's going to be a police officer. He's in the academy right now. And it's because of you. And I said, because of me? What did I do? You gave them all those via bus passes for him to go to school and all this kind of stuff. And it's only a via bus pass or it's only a metro pass to get on the bus free. You know, of course, I turn it right back on her. I said, he's with you day in and day out. So you had a lot to do with it also. I've had several people come back to do a social work internship here in the district because they were in those shoes and they wanted to turn right around and work with kids that are experiencing homelessness. I've got one person that is getting his PhD in social work. I have another one who has a master's. I mean, that's everything.